each of them have TDLUs on them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's our little bumps right there. So here are our extralobular terminal ducts. You guys see them? Extralobular, 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 extralobular. They're going to join and form lactiferous ducts. Okay? When many lactiferous ducts join together, they're going to form the lactiferous sinus right there.
Okay.
Okay? And then that lactiferous sinus is going to have a communication with the nipple itself. We good there, guys? I don't want to move on till we're clear. Yes, everybody.
Do those little lobules go all the way up to that little tail?
What little tail?
The TDLU.
They can extend into the axon. Absolutely. We're gonna come talking about that very soon. Okay. All right, guys. So just to go over the anatomy again, here's the, of course, the skin line right there. Right below that, you have the subcutaneous fat layer, also known as what, guys?
Second layer.
Pre-mammary zone, the pre-mammary layer. Okay. Then we have the glandular layer right here that has all of the glands, has all of the functional units, the TDLUs. That's called the mammary zone, the parenchymal layer. Okay. Right posterior to that, we have the retromammary zone. It also contains fat as well. See the retromammary zone right there? Containing fat. You know the retromammary because it's just anterior to the pectoralis major muscle and posterior to the mammary zone. Okay? Retromammary meaning behind the mammary zone. All right? Okay? And then you have your, like I said, you have your pectoralis major muscle right there. Right posterior to that, it should be a pectoralis minor muscle right here. And then you have your chest wall with your ribs right there. Okay? And you'll know the ribs because the sound is going to absorb, the ribs will absorb sound, and you'll just see those black lines, correct? All right? So, right here you have these attachments. These are called Cooper's ligaments, and these help support the breast. I'm going to describe them a little bit, but they're arranged radially around the breast, okay? And they help support the structure of the breast and hold the glandular units to the skin. All right? I think I've covered everything right there on that. Okay. Questions? We're good. I wanted to make sure we're clear on that anatomy. I know anatomy with the breast is one of the most important things. Okay. Keep it moving. Okay. Still talking about the mammary and parenchymal layer. These mammary glands are these ducts, should I say, have a lining in them. Okay. These ducts have a lining and they have two layers. Okay. They have the inner epithelial layer. Represented right here, guys. See my luminal epithelial layer. So that's the internal part of the duct right there. That's where the milk is going to be. This is the luminal epithelial layer. That's the inner epithelial cell layer right there. Okay. And it also has a myoepithelial layer. Myo means related to muscle, right? Meaning related to muscle. So we know muscles contract and they flex. Okay. So that's it right there, the the blue area right there, that's the myoepithelial cells, okay? These cells will contract to help transfer the milk out of the functional units, out of the TDLUs, okay? Myo, of course, is a muscle, so it will contract, right? And it's gonna help get these, get the milk out of these ducts, okay? All right, so you can see the ducts right there lining up. So, guys, you see where it says ducts, the top one right there? What is that one? Huh?
Extralobular.
Extralobular. Where it says ducts right here, which one is this?
Lefties.
That's the lactiferous duct or lactiferous sinus because it's many extralobular combined.
And the sinus.
Okay. So the breast ducts, guys, they're surrounded by a basement membrane right here. That red area around those ducts, that's the basement membrane, which helps separate it from the other tissues around it. Okay? So each duct acts as an individual. Each duct acts as an individual. All right. So the reason TDLUs are so important is because that's where the location of most benign and malignant disease occurs. Okay? which is why breast cancer is so much more prevalent in females than males. Right? So, the glandular tissue, or the glandular tissue of the parenchymal layer, the mammary zone, that is the largest area is going to be in the upper outer quadrant of the breast. Okay? Like Sophie said, right? Sophie said that the other day. The largest area of glandular tissue is going to, or our functional tissue is going to be in the upper outer quadrant of the breast. Because when we're talking about the breast, we kind of divide them into 4 quadrants, right?
Mhm.
Upper outer quadrant, lower outer quadrant, lower inner quadrant, upper inner quadrants. Okay? We're going to either divide them into quadrants, and we're going to divide it into a clock. The TDLUs are typically confined to the mammary layer. Let's talk about what Lauren was just asking about. Okay? Usually in the mammary zone. Occasionally, they may project between the Cooper's ligaments into the superficial breast or the retromammary layer. Okay? The mammary layer may also extend into the axilla, forming the talar spines. Good question.
When I breastfed, milk.
Really? No shame. You just don't
Well,
know.
I asked the doctor, and they're like, "That's normal."
I'll actually like Alright. So here guys, I just have another illustration of, the ducts right here. So here's the TDLU consisting of the lobule and the extralobular terminal duct. Okay. That is what a TDLU consists of.
Look
Right.
like palm tree.
Look like a tree, right? A
Palm tree.
palm tree. Okay. Okay, I can see that. I can see that. You see the duct tools right there, also known as what, guys? What are these little duct tools called?
TDLU.
No.
Intralabular.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm. What are they called? Acini or alveoli? Alveoli. Acini or alveoli? That's the milk producing.
Making milk.
Milk producing. Where the beginning of milk production starts in the acini glands. All right. Okay. And again, these extralobular ducts will join and form the lactiferous duct, and eventually will become the lactiferous sinus. Okay, before it goes out to the nipple. All right. All right. So again, the breast stroma. That's the area that surrounds the actual lobes themselves. That covers up the lobe. The breast stroma helps support the breast. Okay. Fat is located in the pre and retromammary zones, guys. Fat, like I just showed you in the other image, fat is located in the pre and retromammary zones. More of it is located in the pre-mammary zone. Okay. Cooper's ligaments, also known as suspensory ligaments. You see them right here, guys, yellow. All these yellows right there. Those are all Cooper's ligaments right there. Okay. Also known as suspensory ligaments. Okay? Just like fallopian tubes have suspensory ligaments. All right. They're thin connective tissue bands, and I kind of just summarized it up from the book, so you can definitely just take these notes right here. Kind of a quick summarization. Okay? And they firmly attach the breast to the skin. Okay? They provide structural support, and they extend radially around the deep fascia. So these breasts you can even see them in radial fashion. You'll see them when you're doing your ultrasound on breast, and you'll just see those white lines kind of. Remember I said they kind of like waves. I would say when you're looking at breasts, those are going to be the Cooper's ligaments. You can actually see them when you're doing a radial scan. Radial meaning that you're like going around the breast like this, radially around it, and not just going transverse and sagittal, right? Because you're only going to see them at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and long sagittal, and transverse you're only going to see them in 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock.
And they're hyperechoic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, these right here, these Cooper's ligaments support the breast, and they firmly attach the breast to the skin. Alright. The interlobular stroma and the Cooper's ligaments. Again, you see this right here, guys? The pink surrounding the actual lobes, that's the stroma. Okay? They actually cover up the actual lobes themselves. Okay? That's the stroma.
So the alveoli is inside?
It's inside of each lobe. The alveoli, the Acini gland is inside of each of those lobes. Remember, it's 20 to 40 inside of those 15 to 20 lobes that are in the breast. Alright?
So the TCLU and the stroma is same thing?
The stroma surrounds each TDLU.
Okay.
Okay, surrounds each of the lobes, as you can see. So right here, you see the green right there, represented out here. That would be represented as stroma.
Okay.
On this image. Okay, it covers up each lobe. Kind of like the Glissen's capsule covers up the liver, right? The stroma is gonna cover.
Look, the
up
last slide they point TDLU is including the duct, the reverse slide. When see they label TDLU, it includes the duct, right?
Yeah, it includes the extralobular duct, extralobular terminal duct. Definitely, it includes that. You need the lobe itself and the extralobular terminal duct. And these are just some another image I wanted to get you guys. You can just see each, and this I guess would be like a transverse view of the breast. Okay, so right here you guys can see all of the Cooper's ligaments right there, how they're arranged radially, how they just go around the breast. Remember, guys, this will be like a slice of the breast in transverse, just straight through. Okay, and you can also see our excretory ducts right there, also known as what, guys? The lactiferous sinus, right? The lactiferous sinus, they connect with the nipple.
Excretory ducts.
And you have your interlobular ducts, and you can see this whole purple area, guys. That would be your that's your parenchymal zone. Okay, that's where your functional breast tissue is, right there. And then right here you have your what's this, guys? What's this right here?
Rectal memory zone.
Rectal memory zone, and then this area right here,
Rememory zone.
you have your pre-memory zone. Okay, and let's see what we have. What's this right here?
Muscle.
Pectoralis major and pectoralis minor, just posterior to the pectoralis major. Okay, I tried to put as many images as I could in there so you guys can get a good understanding of what the anatomy is supposed to look like. Any questions? Okay, so let's talk about the male breast. I kind of went out of the order of the book a little bit because I wanted to cover male breast before I got into blood vessels, lymphatics, and whatnot. Okay, so the male breast, the nipple and the areola remain small. They normally retain some ductal elements, but do not develop the milk-producing acini. Okay, remember the acini alveoli is what produces the milk. Okay. Ductal elements can hypertrophy or get larger during puberty and later in life, like this right here. That's called gynecomastia.
It hurt.
It hurts. Okay.
I remember that time when you touched it hurt.
Imagine what the ladies go through.
Yeah, they say
Imagine what the
they
ladies
call
go
something lemon breast because it looked like lemon.
through. Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
What? What is that?
The
That
puberty.
goes down?
That
Huh?
puberty.
That goes down?
Not necessarily. This person looks like they probably had surgery to get that removed. Because what happens is your glandular layer, your mammary layer, start to swell up. It'll start to hypertrophy and grow. When normally you have those units, but they usually only hypertrophy when a woman is pregnant. Okay, but during puberty or later in life, I know like smoking can cause you to have gynecomastia. Okay, if you're a smoker, like if you smoke cigarettes.
No, it's a weed.
Oh, it's weed? Okay. There you go. There you go.
Smoke weed here.
Let's get off of that. All right. Yeah, you smoke weed, guys. Guys,
I don't.
you can get male breast. Okay.
What
Breast
now?
cancer, real quick. Breast cancer is uncommon. in males, and it occurs at 1%